I always want to kind of keep myself a little bit off kilter and kind of on edge. I don't want to be trapped into only representing or only working in this way. So it's good to have the tables turned on you sometimes.
This episode of Beyond the Gallery is brought to you by Great Southwest, located in Colorado Springs, Colorado.
My name is Loughridge, and we're at my studio, Dry Creek Art Press in Denver, Colorado. I'm a woodblock artist. I gather most of my sketches, my ideas, outdoors, watercolor and pastels, which I then bring back to the studio and incorporate into the woodblocks. I began in art, really, my mother was very involved in the arts, as well as my grandmother, and so I was always exposed to art. And I think when you're growing up, having that visual exposure is key to developing an eye and a sense for the arts. So it was always around me, and so it kind of became a logical step for me to use it as an expressive medium. I really became serious about art when I was in high school. I was at a high school back east, a boarding school. There's just the greatest teacher there, and really inspired me and really got me thinking about art and thinking about art seriously. And it really grew from there. I tend to like to delve into something and think about it a lot, maybe sometimes too much. And so the printmaking allows me to really think about it. And I really think about one layer, and I'll proof, and I'll do 10, 12 proofs, and then I'll have the color and the temperature and the value just right, and the carve, and then I'll print that. I love the process, and I love the contrast between something very spontaneous, the watercolor is very spontaneous, very quick, and then I love moving into something that is more methodical, but being able to keep that spontaneity in that methodical process is very exciting for me. So I bring these little quick watercolor snapshots that I do outdoors into the studio, and I pin them up on the wall, look at them, and one of them will really capture my eye, this core abstraction that I think, okay, I can really build on that. I always keep focused on that core abstraction. That's the key element that makes the image strong, is that abstract core. In the back of your mind, you have a concept of where you're going, a feel of what your image should look like. And it's not a pictorial feel, it's a mood that that's how I remember it feeling. And so that's what you're going for. And when you lay down your ink and roll it all out, and you're looking at the block, you have no idea if you've done it right. And you don't know until you lift up the print. And there's always that moment of truth when you lift up the print and look and say, that worked. And it's very subtle values that you're making these progressions on, the value progressions and color progressions. But it's when you get it to work right, you say, okay, I know where I can go next. This is working, that's getting the feel. So it's getting a glimpse and capturing that mood that you have in the back of your head of where you want to go. I change what's hanging in the studio quite a bit. So I always have I change it about once a week. I always have new pieces on the wall. And it's not just my work, I always have work that I love. I love printmaking, so I love prints. It's a lot like listening to music. There'll be one record that somebody plays over and over. Well, there'll be one piece of artwork that I put on the wall over and over and over. And then I'll move on to the next piece of artwork. So other people's artwork inspires me and how they solved problems or how they expressed issues or what they saw. And if I'm not inspired to be in the studio, I go outside. There's the biggest studio of all, and I haven't gotten tired of that yet. Probably the biggest challenge I face every day is making sure whatever I create is, to me, inspiring. If I produce something and I feel it's dry, guess what? Everybody who sees it is going to feel it's dry. So the biggest challenge for me is to make sure that I have that spark in my work, that creativity, that edge that turns it from just being a rendering into something a little more evocative. There's pieces I really become attached to my artwork because I've successfully captured a mood, a sense of feeling and drama. And being representational, the representational just becomes a background for that mood. But that representational piece or subject kind of tells the story in itself as well. But the drama really sets the stage. What I hope that people see in my work is that they can actually share some of the emotion that I've felt. They have a different background, so they're going to have a different emotion. They're going to have different thoughts than I have, or different relationships to that scene. But if I can evoke an emotion, then I feel like I've been successful.
This episode of Beyond the Gallery is brought to you by Great Southwest, located in Colorado Springs, Colorado. To learn more about Leon Loughridge and to see some of his work, please visit greatsouthwestart.com.